What's up, cucklords? Welcome to the first of 4 videos in this series entitled The Ultimate Fanfiction Iceberg. Why did I need to look at my phone to do that? It's because my brain is fried, because I've done this so many times. Before we get into the video though, I have some great news. One, my wife and I, through the power of #gay, #slay, #queer rights, we have found a home. So that's amazing. Thank you to the powers that be and me. Thank you to me because I found the home. Thank you very much. And thank you to my wife for being amazing, obviously. When this video drops and when I get, 20 more views, I will have reached 1,000 views and 50 hours of watch time. So that's pretty cool. In honor of those 2 pieces of news, I'm going to do a giveaway. I will be giving away, if you can see on the screen, a sticker pack that you can find in my store and you can buy for $15. It's not much, I know, but everybody likes stickers and it's just a way of saying thank you to people who have been watching my channel. So all you have to do to enter the giveaway is go to my last video, which is called Supernatural, A Divine Tragedy, and comment your favorite fanfiction trope. And you could say a little bit about it, like why you like it, and the funniest, the one that I like the best will get the sticker pack. I'll call out your name in the next video in this series. And if nobody does it, then I guess fuck you, whatever. You don't get the stickers. The ultimate fanfiction iceberg. First of all, why wasn't I on here for writing a fic where Steve kicks over a box of Nazi magic and his dick grows to 14 inches and he fucks Bucky in a trench? Like, is that not good enough for you? What else do you want from me? Do I have to bleed? Second, this gets into some really triggering topics, so if you're not a fan of Nazis, incest, pedophilia, necrophilia, all the philias, then I suggest just skipping it because I'm not going to warn for each individual fic or tier. If you are triggered by anything like that, just probably skip it. Third, in the description is a list of terms for the newly initiated, so if you're not that familiar with fandom or fan fiction in general, hopefully you can still watch this video and follow along. Of course, if I've missed anything or if there's anything that you're not sure of, just leave a comment and I'll answer it. I answer all of my comments and I can say that because I have had 10 comments and I've answered every single one of them. I'll add those terms to the list as the videos progress. Fourth, as thoroughly as I tried to research this, I have no doubt got some things wrong. So if you are more knowledgeable about a topic than I am, please comment. Teach us all a little bit about it. That would be great. We're just here to learn and have some fun. Fifth, I'm not here to shame anyone for anything they've written. All art has its place, and honestly, I would rather someone, write some fucked up fan fiction or explore an interesting kink than act it out in their living room. As you know, fanfiction is a huge part of my online life and has been for the past 12 years. It's helped me to explore my creativity, build up the courage to write professionally, make friends that I've known for over a decade, and it's still something that I read and write today. It's amazing. I love fanfiction. That being said, I haven't read most of the things on this list, and I don't plan to, unless someone wants to drop me a quick thundo to read Dipper Goes to Taco Bell live on Twitch, and then get permabanned from Twitch. Because I'll do it. I'll do it. 6, this is one of 4 videos in this series. I've just broken up the tiers. There's 12 tiers on the iceberg, and I've broken them up into lots of 3 because otherwise I would just be recording for hours and hours and hours, and I'm just not into it. But now this is a 4-part series around the same iceberg. Stay tuned for the rest. As usual, I don't have an upload schedule. I just write, edit, record whatever whenever I want. Follow me, subscribe, click that notification bell to get notified when the next video drops. 7th, this is one of the most fun videos I've done on this channel. If you've been following me for a little bit, you'll know that I try and stick to topics now that just interest me, that I like talking about. And this is right up my alley. This fits with the theme of my channel, which is about fandom, fan works, fan content, interacting with things that I like in a fanish way. And I really enjoyed making it, despite the overwhelming amount of fucked up topics that it covers. It was really fun. Don't expect any more like morbid content or icebergs from me, because this was just a break from my usual content. So lastly, thank you to Reddit user Lofferglue for compiling this iceberg. But not only that, thank you so much for color coding it so I actually knew what you were talking about. I'll link the iceberg and the Reddit post in the description, so yeah, you can check that out and say thank you to Lofferglue. And also thank you to my 34 subscribers. Love you, babes. With each tier, they are divided into 4 categories, and I'll go through them in this order throughout every tier. So it's fic, the next one is tropes or fetishes, the next one is creators or communities, and the last one is just a general other. Tier 1, Clear Skies. First fic that we are looking at is called My Immortal. And if you've been on the internet in any capacity ever, well, at least since 2006, you have probably heard of this fanfic. It is the most famous fanfic that people know is a fanfiction. It was written by fanfiction.net user XXX666XXX in 2006 and 2007, and it is a canon adjacent Harry Potter fic about an OC called Ebony Dementia Darkness Raven Way, who attends Jesus, I hate Harry Potter. Who attends Hogwarts, dates Draco Malfoy, and just generally causes a ruckus. It's most notable for its spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes, digressions from the narrative, and its convoluted narrative style. The first paragraph starts, "Hi, my name is Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven Way, and I have long ebony black hair in brackets. That's how I got my name. With purple streaks and red tips that reach my mid-back and icy blue eyes like limpid tears, and a lot of people tell me I look like Amy Lee. Author's note in brackets, if you don't know who she is, get the hell out of here." It is truly iconic. Where would we be as a society without this fic? The next fic is called How I Become Yours. It's not a fic so much as a fan comic. So I guess we're just playing fast and loose right off the bat. It is a post-canon Avatar The Last Airbender fan comic by Jackie Diaz, and it was published in 2009. It's considered one of the worst fan comics ever made because of its grammar, spelling, characterization, all that kind of jazz. But also because the author traced most of her panels, or at least some of her panels, and was then subsequently banned from DeviantArt because of the art plagiarism, but you can still find it on Photobucket and Tumblr. The next fic is Half-Life, Full Life Consequences. It was written by author Squirrel King in 2006. He was apparently 9 years old at the time, but this was later revealed to be a hoax. It's a Half-Life fic that follows an OC named John Freeman, who is the brother of the protagonist of the games, Gordon Freeman, and it features aliens, monsters, and zombie ghosts. It spawned a handful of Flash-based adaptations on Half-Life2.net and Newgrounds, and then in 2008, YouTuber DJY1991 made a Gary's Mod adaptation of it, which made the fic go viral. So I've added a couple of my own to this tier. The first one is called Doom Repercussions of Evil, and it's a fic about the video game Doom, written by fanfiction.net user Peter Chimera in 2002. Like My Immortal, it employed bad spelling, bad grammar, bad characterization, and can be considered crack fic. It's most famous for the lines, "No, John, you are the demons," and then John was a zombie. This fic spawned numerous dramatic readings, 4chan illustrations, Gary's mods, and YouTube Flash animations over the next 8 years after it was posted. The next one that I've added is Trapped in an Island with Josh Hutcherson. It is a Wattpad RPF written by user whose handle I'm not sure of. It's listed as old_account 2012, so I assume they just changed their handle. It's about a teenager named Kate who runs away from home, steals her dad's boat, drives it into a storm that Josh Hutcherson is also caught up in. They both go overboard. He saves her. They end up on an island, trapped in an island. As the summary asks, what will happen while they fall in love or get hungry and eat each other? Read this book to find out. It's 8 parts. It takes apparently 20 minutes to read. It's famous for its bad grammar, spelling, and writing in general, and YouTuber Jenny Nicholson did a review of it on her channel, which is pretty funny. So, for the tropes and the fetishes, the first one is Mary Sue. This is basically a female character who was so bland and lacking in personality that she can be projected onto by anyone, usually aimed at teen girls. Think Bella Swan or her evil counterpart, Anastasia Gray. Yuri and yaoi are terms that originated in Japanese media, and they describe love between women and women and men. So Yuri is sapphic love, also called girls' love, and yaoi is Achillean love, also called boys' love. Shared bed or there was only one bed trope, the trope of all time, are fantastic, beautiful, wonderful. It's basically what it says. 2 or more characters are put in a situation where they have to share a bed because there was only one bed and no one wants to sleep on the floor or on the couch, so they share the bed. Tumblr user Chappeldean has given a new variant to this, which is called There Was Only One Umbrella. Thank you, Chappeldean. This is amazing. The next one is Weird Crossovers. It's canon meets canon, basically. It's like if you took the characters from Seinfeld and the characters from Supernatural and they met each other, whatever, like maybe Supernatural comes to New York or whatever, or Seinfeld goes to Kansas, you know, something like that. For the creators or community in this tier, Lofaglu didn't put anything, so I've added my own, which are fanfiction.net, the world's largest fanfiction archive that has been kicking since 1998 and is still active today. It was founded and is still owned by programmer Jing Li, the OG of OGs. The tagline reads, "Unleash your imagination." Wattpad is a story sharing site that is most famous for its original stories being turned into movies or getting book deals. I think that was how it originally started, but is also used for fan fiction like Trapped in an Island. It was started in 2006 by Alan Lau and Ivan Yuen and hosts over 1.4 million stories. LiveJournal was originally a blogging site but is now probably most famous for its fan content, its fan communities. It was founded in 1999 by Brad Fitzpatrick and has tens of millions of users, and is also the site that I started writing fanfiction on. For the other section, Lofaglu put fanfiction.net and Wattpad. Don't know why. Shipping is also known as pairing. It's basically when you write 2 or more characters in a romantic or sexual relationship, shipping. Fandom culture refers to the way fans interact with each other, not just within their own communities, but inter-community interaction. I mean, you could say it's kind of like just culture in general. It's like saying, I don't know, Australian culture. OCs stands for original character or original characters. It's basically just making up your own character and putting them in the story. The reactions to OCs vary from basically fic to fic and reader to reader. You could have self-insert OCs that people generally don't like for whatever reason, but there are fics like one I'll talk about later called Down to Agincourt, which has a lot of OCs. I think more OCs than there are canon characters in the fic, and the fans just love it. So, Tier 2, Average Fan. The Draco Trilogy. It's a Draco-centric Harry Potter fic written by the famous, the iconic Cassandra Clare in The year of our Bucky, 2000, turn of the millennium. It's canon divergent after the fourth book and follows Draco Malfoy. While it is considered many fans' introduction to fan fiction, it is probably most famous for the leather pants Draco trope, which is just Draco looking good in leather pants. I mean, how many people can say that they invented a trope? Come on. While writing these stories, the author, Cassandra Clare, plagiarized heavily from different sources, such as the Hidden Land series by Pamela Dean, Buffy and Babylon 5. Some of these were considered like kind of homages or intertextuality by the author, but she ended up plagiarizing like whole sections, whole descriptions, whole dialogues, whole scenes from these other sources, and was then banned from fanfiction.net. While some of it was revealed as hidden quotes in the author's mailing list, a lot of it went uncited. So heat waves, the most popular Minecraft YouTuber RPF, written by author TBH You're Lame in 2020. It follows YouTubers Dream, George Not Found, and Sapnap as Dream and George Not Found enter a romantic relationship. I have to point out that usually RPF about celebrities with stage names or handles, it uses their like birth names or the names they go by in everyday life as opposed to their handles or their stage names, but you know, I guess it varies from fic to fic or author to author. It has over 2 million hits despite being only 50k words long, so that's actually a pretty good feat. George Not Found and Sapnap have both read the fic, which is something I'll touch on in a later tier. At one point in late 2020, Archive of Our Own, also known as AO3, went down for a few hours, which is not unheard of, but people attributed this to heat waves updating. However, this wasn't the case. It was just something funny that happened at the time. The next fic is Sonic.exe. It is not so much a fic as a creepypasta written by Sir JC the Hyena and posted in 1991. It follows the protagonist Tom, who was sent a CD by his friend Kyle, who's been missing for a few days. Kyle says not to play the CD, but where would we be without the silly whims of our protagonists? Instead of Sonic, there is this eldritch abomination character of X who traps souls in the bodies of Sonic characters to turn them into his slaves. He is also a multi-dimensional and omnipotent being. He's just evil. I'm not really sure what to call this since it's not even like canon or canon adjacent. Instead of focusing on Sonic, it focuses on an OC and Tom playing the Sonic game with an OC. I don't really know what to call it. Next fic is Cupcakes. It's a My Little Pony fanfic written by Sergeant Sprinkles in 2011. It follows the characters of Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie as Pinkie Pie tortures, mutilates, and kills Rainbow Dash for shits and gigs. There have been many related fics by other authors, a collection of which you can find on fanfiction.net, and several fanvids, including a Portal 2 crossover. 50 Shades of Grey is probably one of the most well-known books in the English language. It was written by E.L. James and was first posted as Twilight fanfiction around 2011. It was first published as Master of the Universe under the pen name Snow Queen's Ice Dragon, and later posted to her own website 50shades.com, where she self-published it, and it later got picked up by Vintage Books. Despite being written at the level of a fourth grader with a really fucked up childhood, the 50 Shades trilogy has sold 35 million copies worldwide and has spawned sequels, I guess, and movies. The next one is Subspace Emissaries World Conquest. It is a Super Smash Brothers fanfic written by fanfiction.net user Aura Channeler Chris. It revolves around the OCs Chris and Lucario, whose quest is to stop the Subspace Emissary from taking over the world. It incorporates canon characters and focuses on some of them for each arc. Between 2008 and 2018, it reached 4 million words. It's possibly still a WIP. I'm not really sure. It is the longest fanfiction ever written. It is possibly the longest piece of fiction ever written. Sorry, De Profundis, you could never. It's regarded as well written and has a loyal fan base. And according to the TV Tropes page, the central theme is solitude is a horrible feeling, but the people you spend time with are there to help you out. The tropes for this tier include AUs, alternate universes, which is basically like taking the characters from one text and putting them in a different universe, a different text, without their knowledge of the source text, if that makes sense. So it's basically like if you took the Seinfeld characters and put them in the supernatural world as hunters who fight ghosts with guns real good, and they didn't have the same relationships, or they didn't have the same backstories as, say, growing up in New York or living in New York, etc., etc. Fix-It Fic refers to fics that fix, F-I-X, the canon text. So it's basically when the creators of the show, the comic, whatever, do something really shitty that you don't like, so you take it upon yourself to fix it with fic. The next term is grimdarks. I have never heard this term. In my circles, we call it angsty fic or just angst. And it refers to fics that primarily focus around misery and suffering. Love triangles are a common trope in any kind of media. It refers to when there are three people and two of them are vying for the attention of one person. It's not commonly used in the fan fiction that I read because we've solved it with polyamory and bisexuality. Self-insert refers to where you write a character who most of the time has your name, so you're basically just writing yourself into the story. Write whatever you want, babes, it's fine. And I really don't get the backlash to people who are like, oh, you can't write yourself into your own fic. It's fic. It's fan fiction. Who gives a shit? Character X reader fics focus around you, the reader, having a relationship with the character. So character X reader, it's like character / reader, same thing. Headcanons refer to any kind of like information that you've added about a character that you could like extrapolate from the text, or just anything that you want to write about the character. It could be something as simple like Jerry Seinfeld really likes watching Severance because he wishes he was in a gay, erotic, homoerotic relationship with his friends. Trollfics, I've never heard of this term before. I assume it's just when someone writes a fic to be a troll. It sounds similar to the other term that I've used before, crack fics, where it's just like absurd and silly and you're just writing it for fun. I assume troll fics are probably made with a malicious intent, whereas crack fics are just fun. Creators or the communities for this tier include Astalat, a big name fan, or BNF, who has been writing and vidding since 1994. She developed the automated archive software and SendCrit in 1998, VividCon in 2002, Yuletide in 2003, and Archive of Our Own in 2009. She has been an avid activist of fandom and fan culture for decades and has posted over 500 works on her AO3 account in over 100 fandoms. By my count, 101 fandoms. Amazing. You don't have to like everything she's written. You have to accept the fact that she is an icon, a trailblazer, a legend. Coley Does Things is a YouTuber and comedian who uploads short form video sketches, often revolving around fandom and fandom content. She's been active in this role since 2017 and has almost 700,000 followers on YouTube. FicTalk was pretty vague. I wasn't sure exactly what Loffically was talking about. I had a look on the FicTalk hashtag on TikTok, but most of it was in Spanish. I assume it's something like people acting out fanfiction, fic tropes, or coming up with fic to post to TikTok. In the other category, we've got Archive of Our Own, also known as AO3, which is a fanfiction archive that Astalat helped to develop. Like I said, it's been around since 2009, and has hosted some of the most famous works of any fanfiction in the past. How many years is that? 14? 13 years. Fanon refers not to Franz Omar Fanon, it refers to any element that fans come up with that is generally accepted into the fandom consciousness. So it's headcanons that are widely accepted, really. Audio dramas, I assume this referred to podfics, which are basically when someone records themselves reading out a fic and posts it. Tumblr is a blogging platform. Not sure exactly what it was originally intended for, but it's now become like a hub of memes and fandom. Lost episode or video game creepypastas, I assume this refers to creepypastas about video games. Lost episode I think this is lost episode creepypastas. I'm not really sure, sorry. Big Bang challenges refer to challenges in which an artist and an author team up to write a fic that is usually more than 20,000 words. In typical Big Bang challenges, the author will write a summary about the fic that they propose to write, and then an artist will choose the summary that they like best. There's usually moderators who help pair them up and who run the event and post like when it's due, you know, they get all the, you know, etc. There are mini bang challenges, which are under 20,000 words, usually around 10,000 or less, and reverse big bang challenges, which are when the artist comes up with the art and then the author writes fic around that art, as opposed to the regular Big Bang challenges where the author comes up with the premise and then the artist chooses them. So I've added fanfic gap, which refers to a gap in canon that can be filled by fanfic. Is anything from like a missing scene to like a scene that they've referenced in canon, or even like a gap between scenes, you know, if it's like, you know, one day and then the next day. Or it can include a jump to the future by a couple years, a couple months, etc.